legendary Jake Link. Jake, welcome to the program.
What's going on, people? So the saga continues.
It actually was just sort of reignited.
Yep.
I guess. Reignited.
It's like you have a kid with Brian and...
Oh, God. Let me tell you, like I said, you know, it's going to sound like I'm going back on my word. But you know what? We're talking about Ryan Lambert here. We're talking about a prick like Lambert. Why should I have to hold my word to him? Well, anyway, screw this. Let's cut the music. Let's get ready.
We don't need to have integrity.
Well, look, when we talk about having no integrity and it's half a goof, you know, I mean, Jesus, I wouldn't want to do something like that. And on the heels of the Nick Foley incident, I mean, when I opened this thing up, I was embarrassed as hell. I mean, I was humiliated with myself. I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, how stupid can one person be? It's just one of those things where I caught half of it. I didn't look into it totally. I thought I nailed them. They were actually sending a lot of stuff to him at the time, and I just kept it in the bag and waited for Harrison. Or waited for an opportunity to use it. And the only thing is what I was using wasn't true. It was half true, or I don't know. Look, here's what happened. Make a long story short, I got it wrong. You saw it just on the video. I'm going to go to the web pages right now, and you saw it. You can see me and Jake up here. And yeah, let me open this thing up. I go to the web pages right now, and what happened was when I've been waiting to hit Harrison with that for a long time. I've been waiting to hit him. It's like, well, look, you can't have one standard for Sherman and another standard for Ray Emery, which he agreed to. But if you noticed, Harrison was really quick to say if Ryan said that, because he wasn't sure Ryan said that, which probably should have been a tip-off to me. The guy has his shit together, as he clearly demonstrated in the last show. So what happened was, as you can see here, if I can zoom in, if you're watching YouTube, of course, you can see the emails, and you can also see Jake's message to me. I'll just to make a long story. So make a long story short, he shows me the links where I got it wrong. I showed it to you in the video, and here's what he said to me. So basically, what I'm saying to you, at least you're an idiot for having literally no reading comprehension skills, a liar at worst, and a piece of trash in either event. You should be ashamed of yourself for this garbage, but I know you lack the capacity. Get over your sick and sad obsession with me, fanboy.
You can't blame Tommy. You can't blame Tommy for his lack of reading comprehension skills. He did go to New Jersey public schools.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, good point.
All right.
Look, when I saw that, I was mad. The first thing I did is I let Harrison know that what I said wasn't true. It was a mistake. I sent a tweet to Puck Daddy apologizing. That was the first thing I did. By Wednesday, I had made the video. If you want to follow us along here on the actual events, what you do is go up to your Facebook page, right? This here, shot from the point and other crap, and there you go. You can follow us along and check out the whole damn thing. So, I wrote back. I immediately told him I wrote this at 3 a.m. my time. I let him know there was no excuse for it. I did say this, which I do regret a little bit, because one thing really has nothing to do with the other. But it is true, and because he is a hypocrite himself. On the other hand, you did bitch about hockey culture during the Penn's Boston series, and only a few months later recommending a two-hander that could kill somebody on Ray Emery. That's sick. Reporting a tweet wrong doesn't even come close to hurting somebody, and thinking something like that's okay. While that's true, that does not excuse me for getting it wrong. You're doing this type of stuff. You can't be calling people racist. You can't be doing this unless you got it right. I did a half-assed job. I got a half-assed result.
You're no better than Nick Foley.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's the thing. If you remember the conversation with Harrison Mooney and me, I said to something like, look, you know, everybody, he was saying, like, look, we put out a lot of content. Our opinions change. Philosophies change. You know, so much stuff sometimes you don't remember what you said the first time, and it kind of it counteracts with something you may have said a couple months ago or years ago, and it's all on the web. Look, I think I was pretty accepting of it at the time. I said, look, Harrison, why don't more people apologize for stuff like that? I don't really understand why you can't get up and say, hey, look, I screwed up. I got this wrong. You never hear reporters say that. You see them act more like Nick Foley, who changed his name, by the way. He's now Nicholas Foley. Yeah, isn't that funny? I like to take responsibility for that. So you see more guys like him, and why Nick Foley is not a big reporter, even in the wrestling world. You still have a certain amount of integrity. When you screw up, you get it wrong. It's okay to say, hey, look, I got it wrong. Now, admittingly, I got something. Boy, I just put you on camera. You just look like you got rejected off The Walking Dead. What's the matter with you?
No,
you're a rejected zombie off The Walking Dead.
No, I was.
You ready to be on camera every time? Holy Christmas! What the hell was I talking about?
I was typing something in.
Okay. Be ready.
My computer was just being a dick a little bit.
Yeah, I just gave you your close up for the night. Well, anyway, look, going back to what I was saying before, why don't just guys come out and say, sorry, I got this wrong. Make a correction. Happens all the time. I mean, there's no reporter in the world that hasn't had to make a correction. And,
I never have.
Oh,
I stand by everything I say, even if it's wrong.
Well, yeah.
That's right.
Like the time that you said that Ilya Kovalchuk was... I can't even think of something to say because I'm concentrating.
The time I said Ilya Kovalchuk was thinking about making a comeback after the Olympics to the NHL. Yeah. No, that is true.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't happen, it's still true.
Yeah, you're too funny. All right. So, look, we all make Ryan writes his thing smashing Gregory Campbell last year for blocking a shot, doing his job, saying the refs are sick, we're all sick for being fans of it, and, thinking it's sort of heroic in a roundabout way. And then, a goalie fight happens, and he's recommending something to kill somebody. That's actually sick. That's really sick, if you ask me. But that being said, that does not excuse me from a thing, right? So I sent it to him, as you can see here. I hope you take this sincerely, and I sent him the video. This is what I got back. I see you don't understand how hyperbole works. Good stuff, bud. Nice non-apology. Now, I think... I don't know. Look, I probably should have known. If he told me a couple months ago the reason he did the interview with me was so I would go away. I'd finally get what I want. I would go away. And I got to be honest with you, this was the best opportunity for me to go away. I had my tail between my legs. I was embarrassed. I did something I really didn't want to do to a guy who I really have a lot of disdain for, which is now turned to hate. And he chooses, this is his opportunity to kind of agitate the situation and make it a lot worse. So here's what I wrote. Look, about the hyperbole thing, he's half right. I don't understand. Was he using hyperbole when he wrote tugs a collar before Kevin DuPont's tweet in some weird way to support him? I don't know. You're right. I don't know. If that's the case, I take the apology back, and I do. If you support what Kevin said, I think I think you really got to check your privilege. Dick. And apparently that's Ryan's childhood hockey writing hero. Was he using hyperbole when he called me trash? No, probably not.
What a weird hero to have.
Yeah, the guy. You're absolutely right. The guy who looks exactly like Ted Knight and behaves exactly like Ted Knight in Caddyshack. Some country club Boston asshole. That's your guy. That's
I'm talking in general.
Yeah,
like with just people like hockey players, football players, doctors, and stuff like that. That's who I want to be.
He says controversial things. I like Kevin Paul DuPont. He gets the heart of the issue. He gets no punches. Yeah, and he can't stand it when black athletes get excited. It defends his sensibilities too much. That's your hero. That's your hero. So look, going back to what I was saying before.
Career day, he would just show up with a hockey stick and a pencil. That was his whole thing. I want to be a hockey writer. I don't want to play it. I just want to tell people what I think about it.
No, I want to get back at the guys that kicked me off the ice because I sucked.
Yeah, those that can't teach. Those that can't teach, write about it. And those that can't write about it,
Absolutely.
they do an internet radio show.
Absolutely. Was it hyperbole when he was talking about Ray Emery? Is that how he's? It's just satire or hyperbole when he's talking about hitting Ray Emery with a two-hander? Was that hyperbole, or was it just everything I said I just made up for the hell of it? Look, douchebag. I've got absolutely nothing to lose. I could have absolutely hung on and lied and say it was him and come up with a conspiracy theory like a lot of you dopes. And I got to be honestly, like you would do. Like you would do if you were embarrassed like this. I instead decided to take responsibility. I don't like Ryan's articles, but I certainly wouldn't want to put him in a position where he's called a bigot. I mean, that's really unfair. So I took responsibility for it. I made it public. It's always on record. But you know what? So this is also on record for you. This shows you what kind of freaking prick you are. You know, a guy that really only has a dog for his friends, I'm sure hasn't gotten laid since 99, or at least since college. I mean, you can't relate with everybody. Your hate comes off in your article. All you got to do is 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, set your Twitter to Ryan Lambert, and watch the hockey hate begin. Watch the disdain for the fans. And Harrison Mooney is absolutely right. You do hide and sort of, Daniel's son, Dean, looks like he broke his leg. I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Holy Christmas. But, you know, these guys, they do hide behind elitism in a certain way. I think that was probably the most honest thing that that Harrison said to us. But, you know, there's a difference between, like, you know, getting some shit off your chest when you have all these idiots and then doing what, like, Wyshynski does and what Lambert does and invite the idiots to criticize you. I mean, by smashing Marco Strum. By writing this ridiculous article on how stupid Gregory Campbell is. You know, I mean, you guys asked for it, so you insulate yourself because you're insecure. You're Ryan Lambert is emotionally about 19 years old. 19 years. That's probably why he can't really deal with my apology.
Nobody understands my hockey writing.
Yeah. You guys just don't get it. You don't get it. This is different. This is coming.
He's like the Taking Back Sunday of hockey writers.
You know, it's funny. I watched the Lego movie, and at the end of the movie, they play this ridiculous song, and it's called
Everything
Darkness.
Is Awesome.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about. And I was thinking of Ryan Lambert, right? When I heard the movie, it was like they go, "All right, this is some real groundbreaking music," and they go, "Darkness, the opposite of light." No parents, and this is the emotional coward that we're dealing with right here. Ryan.
No, I was actually thinking of you with the Lego movie. I was thinking, how much did Tommy probably hate this?
You know, I didn't hate it for the reasons. Why do you think I hated the Lego movie?
Just because everyone else loved it?
Fuck off. That's not true. I didn't hate the Lego movie, and in fact, I think a lot of these right-wing bloggers that are going on saying this is anti-corporation and what have you.
Well, I believe it because I fucking wanted to spend every single one of my dime I had on Legos after that movie. I said, fuck the rent, fuck heat, fuck electricity, Legos.
I didn't. The only thing I didn't like about the Lego movie, it's just like the message of the film is like, all you got to do is believe. And you can kind of get what you want if you just believe. And it's just the biggest crock of shit to tell kids.
They're kids. They still have hopes and dreams.
Yeah, but no, it has nothing to do with...
You don't want your daughter to be a cynical asshole like you.
No, it's not about being a cynical asshole. It's about the entitlement culture that we've created. And we created douchebags like Ryan Lambert. All you got to do is really want to be a hockey writer. No, you got to work at it. And then if you
I thought it taught kids to just be creative and think outside the box. And
yeah, exactly. And said just believe. Because it's almost like, all I got to say is I want to be a fireman. No, there's a lot more to it than that. And it's the same crap I grew up with, and I think they doubled down on people that were born in the 80s. Like Ryan Lambert, who's emotionally about 19 years old, who's perpetually a college student for the rest of his life. Nobody understands, man. Let me go listen to Arcade Fire and cry and smoke cigarettes under a blanket. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. Get over yourself. Well, I did, and this probably looks like the biggest take back of apology. No, what I did was wrong, and if anybody else were to do what I did, they should do the same thing I did, and I owned up to it. Why don't you own up to your encouragement of hockey violence? Sick hockey violence. It could get somebody killed or paralyzed. Own up to that, jerk off, and what have you. So look, he didn't accept my dumb apology. Look, if he wrote me back and said like, hey, I'm really angry with you. I can't deal with this right now. And that would have been it. And then what an asshole would I look like right now if I went after him? No, he took the opportunity to further antagonize the situation. So here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan that we're going to deal with Ryan Lambert. I don't care if it's next month, 5 years from now, or 100 years from now. If you grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts with Ryan Lambert and have any information, any stories, you want to come on and tell a nice story, you want to come and tell what a prick he was, you want to tell me about the hookers he stiffed, how many women he disappointed in his life, that he doesn't feed his dog all the time. I want to hear these stories. I don't even care if it's true.
I actually heard sources tell me that Ryan Lambert, he uses his dog as a bait dog.
A bait dog? What's a bait dog?
Bait dog is a thing that they use for dogs in dog fighting.
Is that the pussy? Is that the real pussy dog they get them all fired up with?
Yeah, they actually use pugs for those, so I feel bad.
Yeah, that's it. That's what Ryan Lambert does. He's just trying to.
Sources tell me.
That's what your sources tell you.
Even if you don't, if you don't know Ryan Lambert and you just want to make up stuff, we don't care.
No, now I don't care because we always joked around about that, and then we did honestly make a big mistake. And then the first thing we did, or I did, because it had nothing to do with Jake. I want to make that clear, too. Jake had nothing to do with that. He went on my information, my poor information only. You know what? All right, let me get back to my story, because I do want to get off this, and I do want to talk hockey. I want to talk about the Heritage Classic that's going on right now. If you knew Ryan growing up...
I got some comments on this Heritage Classic right
Sure,
now.
Yeah, me too. Like you can't see the uniforms. If you knew Ryan growing up, you have any information, if you bullied him, if you watched him get bullied, which is probably often, if you watched him get rejected by some girl and got laughed at, if you know any kind of dirt, I don't care if this is next month. This video is going to be here forever. And I don't care if it's next month. I will drop everything to put you on the air.
We need to find out if Ryan Lambert has any siblings and post embarrassing
That would be, if
pictures
you're
of
a
him.
relative... If you're a relative and this guy stiffed you out of a loan or something like that, we want to hear about it. We want to hear about it because it's obvious to me that he's the one that retweeted my tweets last year. He's the one that engaged me. He's the one that came on our show. He's the one that does this really annoying thing where he blocks my Twitter but unblocks it just to answer me and then reblocks it again. And he also does the same thing with the email. So he wants to tell me off, but he doesn't want to hear anything because that's what pussies do. So if you know any information about him and what went on when he was a kid or a funny story, you're more than welcome on. If you want to vent on this guy that probably treated you like crap your whole life. Anyway, and here's the thing. I got the first piece of it. Apparently, as my sources tell me, and I got sent a piece of audio, my sources tell me that Ryan's mother used to date a lot of different men. And I got audio at the time that they actually broke up. You right? And this was, here it is. This is the motion of one of Ryan Lambert's stepdads taken off. Here it is.
You know, your son looks like a fag to me. You better get married again, because he's going to wind up with somebody's cock in his mouth before he can say Jack Robinson.
Jack fucking Robinson, all right? There you go. That's the thing. If you want to come and do that, you're perfectly fine with me. He wants to be antagonized. He could have said nothing. He could have said, I accept your apology, go away. He could have done a million things, but he decided to further antagonize and further insult.
How do you feel about the fanboy comment?
Well, I mean, did you see where I sent? If you look, first of all, I'm almost sick of that comment. He's a public figure, and he keeps responding to me. He keeps coming on and talking to me. So here's what I wrote him about the fanboy. P.S. And he's mentioned this a few other times. P.S. If you think I'm a stalker or obsessive, by all means, call the police. This is their number. They speak English. Just guess. Country code 49-611-3450. That's the Wiesbaden Police Department.
I saw that.
It's a joke. You're a public...
I was saying to Tracy, because Tracy read the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, hello, German police. Yes. Oh, Tommy's up to his tomfoolery again. We have ways of making him talk.
Atom Proto just called us last week.
Tommy, your other wife is on the phone.
And then you can go interview my ex-wife. That ought to be funny. That would be great. You can interview my ex-wife, and I'll interview your ex-girlfriend. How about that? We'll do that.
That'd be great.
I would love to see my ex-wife go on the air. Well, actually, it would be money in the bank for me if she did that. So I'm totally for it. I don't care what she says. That's like slam dunk for me. I never have to hear any crap in court again.
Oh my God, I should tell your wife I should just because I don't think your wife knows who I am.
No, your wife hasn't.
Hey, I'm doing a show about divorced German American couples, and I would love to have you on as a to hear your point of view from a German woman. Yes, give me your email.
What a toolbox. He didn't even have to write me back, but he wants to be antagonized. So we will continue to antagonize him whenever we see fit. You want to be antagonized. Otherwise, you would have said nothing. But you want to, so we're going to come get you. All right? And like I said, I don't care if it's 5 years from now. I'll interview I will stop everything. I don't care if it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals and the Rangers are up 2-0. Sure. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, so even if it's 70 years from now.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Now, single men die young, so I don't think he'll make it that long. Because he's always going to be single. He's an ugly, lonely, pathetic man. And if I had any class at all, it's like picking on a retard, to be honest with you. But I don't.
I like his dog. I won't lie. I showed Tracy pictures of his dog.
How do you have pictures of his fucking dog?
I really like his dog.
What is it, a beagle, right?
Yeah, it's like an older-looking beagle.
What a pansy dog. Here's a...
Beagles, I had beagles.
Here's some tape of the intellectually, permanently emotional 19-year-old. Oh, fuck, I fucked that up. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. This is the secret to the show. Yeah, there we go. Good. I think that's the biggest problem with that. What you're promoting is... It could threaten it. You could create a bunch of sissies. That's fair to say. I don't even know what I was talking about. Do you remember this part of the interview? To lay down when you don't have to. Now, what you're saying, I get it. There's a time to lay down, and I would agree with you. But, I mean, and I got to be honest with you. You've talked about Campbell. This is the part. Your article attacked him personally. You're talking about the injuries. In the article, you attacked him personally. Silence. Right, I give you the last word on this.
I'd like to know what beyond the thing of like it was dumb to play. Like, what did I say that attacked him personally?
You called him a sap. You called him an idiot. Go check the article on Ryan Campbell. He totally avoided exactly what he wrote. He tried to make us like, look, I was just criticizing the referees. No, you're calling people names. You're calling fans names. You're calling poor Gregory Campbell a name who didn't get a chance to play in the Stanley Cup final. You said he is stupid, as most hockey players are. Weiss is something to the effect. I'm going to paraphrase now. I don't know, Callan, Tommy C. Actually, what are you talking about?
Actually, sources just told me. I just got a message on Facebook.
Yeah.
That Ryan Lambert actually was turned on by Campbell.
Really? Was he?
Yeah,
I know. He missed his date.
He was really turned on by like he had a semi. He said.
Shut up. That wasn't that good. I don't have the article in front of me. Something to the effect that why this shouldn't be rewarded. He should be treated as something of a sad sack. I mean, you're mad at the NHL officials and you attack the hockey player, and that leads me to my last question. I want to ask you: are you jealous of these guys, Ryan? Here we go. Not at all?
Yeah, I'm super jealous of them.
I am.
That's what at the heart of all this is.
I think it's a fair question because your articles are vicious.
That's such a dumb point. You're just jealous of the hockey.
All right, no, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm not saying you are. Are you jealous of these guys? Because I tell you something.
I already answered that in asinine question.
You're not answering it.
I already did.
Okay. All right, fair enough. He never said no. He just said it was asinine. He never actually said no. Jerk off. Listen up. Because I'll tell you why. Whether you are or not, it comes off that way.
Well, I mean, you can parse it however you want.
Oh, sure. I know I can. You don't have to tell me that.
I'm here saying to you that I'm not out there like, oh, gee whiz, I wish I had Gregory Campbell's life.
Well, folks, if you don't believe me, he wishes he had Gregory Campbell's life, then go feel free to read any of his articles. Feel free. This is the guy that I had to fucking apologize to. God, I'm mad at myself. Jackass. And we're gonna get one of your relatives one day. That's what we're gonna do.
That's right.
We're gonna find out how big your cock really is. I'm gonna find out how many people you disappointed. You just rolled over after 2 seconds.
We want very silly baby pictures too, if you got them.
Well, you're nicer than me. All right, we're done. We're done with him. Let's move on.